Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Patrons video today that I'm making for Corn Sunday. It's part of the custom music review. Custom monthly music review, should I say. And if I switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on YouTube. This is a title from an act's name. I've got Old King's Band as a translation, also Your Woman Sleep With Others. The song is titled Sleepless Nights and Haunting Memories, and we're going to listen through it from start to finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, sassy off the bat.
发现孤独已在我心底生根发芽，期待着旁边的妹妹能跟我说句话。
How many instruments have we got on this?
刺痛着我的心啊，而所有的梦想都有终点，而理想却不会轻易改变。你聪明人啊，都在努力往前，我无力的闭上眼。在这个孤独的世界，我等待着明天。
And just that transition to a bass solo.
3个小时的时间才找到了睡眠的方法，却发现阳光已悄悄洒落我房间的沙发，翻转着想把眼睛给闭上，可是太阳却刺痛我的眼睛啊，所有的梦想有终点，而所有的美梦都会终结。比你聪明的人啊，都在努力往前，我无力的闭上眼。在这个孤独的世界，我等待着明天。
And great move to a lead guitar solo here as well. Yeah.
有终点，而理想却不会轻易改变。比你聪明的人啊，都在努力往前，我无力的闭上眼。在这个孤独世界，我等待着明天。
I mean, there's been no place to pause within this. I mean, to be fair, I'm trying to pause less than I usually do, but I think a good rule of thumb is if there is no room, we let the track play to an extent. I mean, it's stunning. There's just absolutely no, like, the transitions are seamless. There's so much flexibility with the way we were doing the guitar, bass, string, drum parts. And the vocals with the male and lady, they were handled really eloquently. We're going to have a look through the lyrics, and we're going to talk about this track more in the conclusion. And here we are. It's got Sleepless Nights and Haunting Memories by Old Kings Band, Your Woman Sleep With Others. So again, clearly these are the lyrics. It took me 22 years to find a way to solve the problem, thanks to Corn Sunday for providing a translation of them. But I realize that loneliness has taken root in my heart. I'm waiting for the chick next to me to say something to me. It stings. I like sentences like people who are smarter than you are trying to move forward. I close my eyes helplessly in this lonely world I wait for tomorrow. I like it. Like, these are relatable lyrics. I don't know if that makes it. I mean, to be fair, it makes them. If you can relate, they're instantly effective, right? And I don't think I'm unique in the way that this would only relate to me, of course. It took me 3 hours fighting with insomnia, but then I realized that the sunlight had already fallen on the sofa in my room. See, that's a cool line. Those are cool lines, dude. I like the imagery there. It's very vivid. Yeah, okay, I get it. People smarter than you are trying to move forward. I close my eyes helplessly and it's only what I'm waiting for tomorrow. I get it. We're going to talk about this track more in the conclusion section. Because welcome to the analysis and conclusion of my review of this track from an act named, translated Old Kings Band or Your Woman Sleep With Others, titled Sleepless Nights and Haunted Memories. Now, what do I think this track's about? I think it's about someone who is struggling with the fact that they can't connect with the person they want to. They're really struggling with that lack of intimacy there, or maybe not being able to sort of connect with them at all. Or move on from them. Smart people would move on and they can't. They're struggling to sleep. It's all they want to. They're basically, this might be post-breakup or something like that. They're just really having a hard time moving on from that. They don't want to, and they've realized that the sun is trying to get in, but it hurts to accept the truth. The sunlight, I suppose, being the truth in this situation. I think that the story there is going to be incredibly relatable to most people who've ever gone through a relation breakup or struggled in that sort of situation. In that way, I think it's effective. I like when people tell authentic stories in a way that is sung really well, because the singers in this band, the male vocalist is the lead, I think, and then there's also a lady singer who also does some backing parts or some harmonies. We had solid vocal technique, kind of comfortable head chest voice, very sort of smooth, sort of suave way of approaching it there, not overcompensating or overdoing it. We were accessible and measured in our tone and expression. Hit some really neat notes there. A little bit of flair occasionally, but not trying to do too much, anything superfluous. We had catchy melodies there, recognizable, continued for the hooks. Then we had enough variety outside of that for things to be meaningful, left plenty of space for the other instruments in the arrangement to do their things as well. We didn't oversaturate. Well done. I think that the way we sung made sense with the lyrics. Emotively, it sounded like we were kind of working through things. We're a bit sad, but we were trying to just kind of soldier on through regardless. We're trying to be that smart person, but we weren't sure if we were able to. The track itself at 3 minutes 59, it's just within that 2 to 4 minute sweet spot. Structurally, has verses and choruses and lots of little instrumental breaks and stuff like that to appreciate, like a bass solo and such like that. There was also a guitar solo. The drums and strings had their parts to shine as well, but ultimately it was a track which is predominantly vocal focused with allowances for other bits and pieces. Great chemistry within the band members, typically a very sort of tight performance. If I talk about a few of the instruments I appreciated there, I think that the bass, honestly, the bass with the solo, but also just the loyalty to the chord progressions that are contingent with the guitar parts and sort of the occasional string bits. It was just a fantastic driving force within the piece and had a great sense of pace there. It was really fragrant, great tone to it. I think that the drum parts were wonderful. We had a fantastic control over the kit there. We were very sort of competent and proficient with our cymbal kick and snare grooves there. We had some interesting on-beat and off-beat parts with the rides and stuff like that, which had a sort of a dancey kind of disco thing there. We had mixtures of rock and roll and some sort of dancey disco kind of vibes within this track stylistically, genre-wise. So I think we managed to sort of get the kit to do whatever was required to sort of meld those bits together with seamless transitions. The guitar parts were fantastic, some bluesy pentatonic and blues phrasing with some of those lead parts, with those rhythm parts there, as well as some strummed chords there. The solo section was really sort of confident and very well phrased. I liked the use of the pentatonics in the upper register of the fretboard. I think that the distorted tone we have was really smooth and silky, and it worked really well. Because you can kind of have a bit too much of the kind of stuff with distorted leads sometimes, and they managed to sort of smooth it out a little bit and keep it a similar sort of timbre to the rest. It was present without being too overwhelming. They're a great sort of alternate to the guitar part, the vocal parts. They were in a similar range. And yeah, we had enough sort of diversity with the different guitar riffs to kind of keep things interesting alongside the bass and drums, and of course the vocals niching in there and the breaks or alongside underneath there's a rhythm. The strings were strummed, or there was some offbeat plucked stuff, I think, like that. They were more of a sub layer, but they had a sense of gravitas to them. They were meaningful regardless. They kind of added a little bit of that kind of X factor to the track, where we added a bit of sort of sophistication to it. It kind of helped with kind of the depth of where we were going within the lyrics, but it also never brought us down too much. I think ultimately the instrumental performance overall was very proficient. We had a great chemistry, as I mentioned, great chemistry between band members. The overall theme sounded like we were trying to sort of work through things, but we were still very sad, almost like we're trying to get up and falling down again through the use of the minors going majors and then back down to the minor resolution there. The bluesy parts there, like we were going through the blues, like we were kind of dancing through life, but we weren't totally enthusiastic about it, is the kind of approach I got from the chord progressions, as well as the different drum lines and the way the vocals went in there, as well as the way we spoke and sung. And yeah, just this ultimately, the theme there without a huge amount of overcomplication to it ultimately was very accessible. The chord choices weren't too convoluted. There was enough variety again within the different lead sections, and I don't think there was a note out of place. But the studio recording, mixing, and mastering was tight. Very sort of like elegant with the way the vocals, guitar, bass, drums, and strings were positioned both in the frequency spectrum with no weird resonant frequencies. Things were nice and wide in the stereo field. Music surrounded you in the headphones. Things were neatly leveled in the mix. There was dynamic range to this. Things weren't the same loudness all the time. There was natural flows, but that not too much. But there was still quite a tight mix compression-wise, but not too much. It was nice and loud without pumping, so the bus compression and limiting was handled. And effectively, this is my review of this track from an act named, again, Old King's Band or Your Woman Sleep With Others, titled Sleepless Nights and Haunted Memories. And hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and their YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musician Daenerys at this point in time, as either help more than ever thought of crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next SC Patrons video. Spiderhands out.